What do you think? Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. Uh, I was just actually going through and I do enjoy the comments sometimes. I really truly do. They are so much fun and enjoyable. I will get into that in a minute. But anyway, very, very funny, actually. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your week is going okay. It's already freaking Wednesday. Holy crap, the time is flying. We've had quite a bit of rain today, more so than we've had the last couple of days. But um, right now it's a nice, steady, light rain, which is actually good. It's a good rain to soak in and really help with the trees and the fruit and everything else. So that's in the gardens, and so that's a good thing. So happy about that. But yeah. Uh, so a couple things with the bees I wanted to address. That feeder is an internal feeder for the bees. Somebody was talking about, oh, you shouldn't have a feeder right there. It's not access to the outside of the beehive. That feeder actually block, and the only way that you can access that food is if you're inside the hive. So it's not an external feeder. So somebody had talked about that, and so I just wanted to address that. The people that I got the bees from, recommend it. They've been, running 100 hives and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's, that part of it is fine. The I think somebody was also talking about scraping off the excess comb on the top when I take the top off of there. The queen is not able to get up now into that third box, so she's not going to be able to get up there to lay, which is what we want. We don't want her up in that third box. So we want her to stay in the lower two boxes, and that third box is where the honeybees are going to be. Really, really happy with the way that's looking. When I look today, they're really working that third box already, which is exactly what we wanted to see. Exactly what we wanted to see. So that is going really, really well. So, okay, before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And if you can abide by those very simple, easy rules, then you can stay and be fine. If you want to be a jerk, those awesome people lit up in blue will boot you out of here. So simple as that. So I ended up having to block two more people. That's why I wasn't on exactly at 2 minutes to 8 like I normally am. I was reading the comments, and I have to, people, it's honestly very amusing. Very, very amusing. Okay. So to me, it is. I'm like, where do these people get off? I mean, they say things in comments that they truly never would say to your face. Number one, I've said many times, like when I did my video earlier today, I talked about being blessed, being here, and just how fortunate I feel to be here. So the comments, it was always like a big paragraph comment thing. And the person was saying, people with excessive bragging are actually very insecure. How is it excessive bragging if I say that I am delighted that I live here and that I'm happy that I'm here? How is that excessive bragging? I don't know. And then they said, well, you don't believe in God, so you're not, how can you say that you're blessed? What does one have to do with the other? To be honest with you, that would be another question that I have. I have to laugh at the mindset of people. Well, because you're not a believer, you can't say this, that, or the other thing. I mean, it's like I'm sorry, I didn't get the handbook letting me know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm allowed not to say because I'm not religious. My own relationship with a higher being, honestly, is nobody's business. I have my own beliefs and I have my own thoughts. I don't like organized religion. And there's another example of why I don't like organized religion. You know, it just it blows me away. It really, really blows me away. And I find it amusing. And it's in all honesty, it's my famous forever troll that comes back periodically to try to say stuff, to try to goad me, to get under my skin. You're not gonna, yeah. I've obviously never heard of freedom of speech. Exact. Well, it's just no. It's a troll trying to get under my skin and trying to goad me, and I just think that it's funny, to be honest with you, at this point. And this gentleman keeps using female accounts, so again, I just think that it's very, very amusing. But yeah, that's all part of it. I guess it's what I got to deal with. You put your out on YouTube, and you are open to everybody playing their games, and that's what it happens. Do you think it's okay to keep contacts in when you are in a fallout? That's a really good question. I would say no. I would not want to have contacts in if you're dealing with fallout or anything like that. I would not. Yeah, sounds like they're jealous, Deborah. Yeah, I think so, Deborah. I think so. I honestly, and I'll say it again. I feel very, very fortunate, very, very blessed to be able to live here, to be on this property. And so I love being here. So anybody can say whatever they want, and that's perfectly fine. But I also have the right to go, oh, this person's an idiot, so I'm going to block them. So, what's the topic? Okay, Larry, take it easy there, my friend. We'll get to topic here a little bit in a minute. I will. I'll get on topic. I just wanted to address that because I thought that that was interesting. And like I said, again, more amusement than anything else. And I hope they have a great time making new accounts all the time. Because from that one individual, and I kid you not when I say this, I kid you not when I say this, I'll bet you with the number, and they have the same rhetoric, so I can definitely tell it's the same person. So this time it was two different accounts, absolutely the same person. If I had to make a guesstimate, I have blocked 100 accounts from that one individual. So they are dedicated. You know, that is for sure. So, but yeah, it's interesting. So they hate me, but they keep watching. It's yeah, that's dedication exactly. Like I tell you, I'm going to tell you what. Your most dedicated people that watch the channel, any YouTuber, and if you talk to any YouTuber out there, they will tell you the same thing. Your most loyal fans, your haters are more loyal than your most loyal fans because they're watching every video, trying to trip you up, trying to look for something, any inconsistencies that you say, so they can hammer you with it. That's what they want to try to do, you know? So it's mind control, Ed. You have them under your spell. Well, yeah, it's definitely interesting. So, uh, I saw your troll on another channel. I asked him if he had a man crush on you. He got really mad. Oh my God, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate you doing that. That's very funny, actually. It's just I don't get. I truly, truly don't get it. I truly don't get it, and that's just my take on it. Like I'll tell you what, there are channels that I don't like. Okay, I don't like them. But I don't watch them because I don't like them. I don't ever go to their channel. I don't troll on them at all. I'm not going to do that because to me that's just such a waste of time and energy. But you know, anyway, so that's that. But what are you going to do? It's just it's part of what you got to deal with, and so we deal with it and we go on from there. All right, so let's what do we got? 280 in the chat. We're at 119 on the thumbs up already. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. Also, again, it really does make a big difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction that I get, the better it is for the channel. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So I got to make one more statement here and then we're going to get into the topic, I promise. So to me, somebody who's a braggart, all right, somebody who is trying to pump themselves up or make themselves look better is always doing the me. Look how great I am. Look how awesome I am. Look at what I've accomplished. You know what I mean? So that's what they do. You know what I mean? Those type of people. They're not saying, that they're grateful, and they're just, in those type of things. So I find that amusing when I read that type of stuff. So anyway, fun times. Something you got to deal with, and that's just the way it goes. But all right, so let's get into this topic. Okay, should we heed this warning? Right, only 11 minutes into the stream, so that's not too bad. Before we actually get on topic, I just saw that Russia basically has stated that the United States and the UK, the longer range missiles that we are providing for Ukraine, with the UK missiles being more effective. They're having a lot more issues dealing. They're a longer range, they're a bigger missile. And Russia's having a hard time dealing with those. But what basically Russia said was this: if those missiles that are being provided by the UK and the United States are used in attacks in the Crimea or in Russia, Mother Russia herself, they will consider that the U.S. and Great Britain are, a part of, Pinball said he was denied his 100,000 plaque because of having a gig within the last year. Oh, is that why they didn't give it to him? Well, I definitely won't be getting one anytime soon. Thanks for that info, Okie Forge. What have I had? How many strikes? I don't even know how many strikes. But the last 3 strikes that I got from YouTube, were on old videos. Because I'm very careful in these newer videos, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so I guess I won't be getting my plaque anytime soon. But so anyway, so Russia's basically stated that if those missiles are used in the Crimea, which they annexed back in 2004, right, or if they are used in Mother Russia herself. And yeah, JJ, I was looking for that information, JJ, and I hadn't seen anything. So that's why I haven't talked about that yet. I know you had sent me that information, and so I didn't want to come on here and do a video on that yet until I got something. It's coming to light now. Okay, I'll look for that, and as soon as I see that information, definitely will be, I definitely will be from, looking for that, and I'll do a video on that. But I'll say allegedly right now for the stream, Angela. Exactly. But anyway, because it's being silent. Well, that would make sense, John. That would make sense. But I have to be careful. Unfortunately, like I said on here, I can't say certain things or talk about certain things. Don't want to be accused of spreading misinformation or saying something that they have deemed to be truthful, even if the rest of us don't believe it is the case. So, like I said, I have to be really, really careful on here. It's just a way that kind of goes. But anyway, so going back to the situation, we have been providing, obviously, 2014, okay, for the Crimea, okay. I couldn't remember exactly when it was, but I know that Russia annexed that quite a while ago. And but so with that, Russia has stated that if those weapons are used to attack Mother Russia or the Crimea, then they will consider a serious act of aggression by the U.S. and the U.K. For being. Ed is being reported on Fox now. Ah, okay, all right. Send me that link, JJ, to my email, please, so that I can go and look at that. So, but anyhow, we we need to take that seriously. And what happens if Ukraine decides to use those weapons longer range? Obviously, when you have the one that we gave them has a range of 175 miles, the ones that the UK gave them has a range of 350 miles. Um, so that is definitely something. They like to throw around the phrase "hateful and harmful speech." Yeah, I love that. Yeah, right. I love that. So yeah, it's just is a Titanic sub rescue a distraction or not? Is a lot of people are talking about. Hopefully, the five people are found safe. I'm going to tell you what, and let's be 100% honest about this situation with the people in that submarine. It's not a submarine; it's a submersible. A submarine is able to go down and come back. That is not. Those people are bolted in to that submersible. Um, they were paying what $240,000 or something like that a piece to be able to go down and look at that. Okay, the reality is this: yeah, the all passengers on the subs are billionaires. Yeah, want my honest opinion and honest thoughts on it? They're dead. There's no way, even if they get the stuff there on time, to be able to pinpoint exactly where it is and to bring it up in time to save those people, you know, that's just they're not gonna. Yeah, in the contract, death was mentioned on the first page. Exactly, they're taking a chance. These are people that have way more money than they have common sense, because I think the average person that would look at that contract and go, "Oh, we're not responsible if you die. This thing does not have power to get back on its own." Uh, yeah. The last somebody said they only had 20 hours of air left. Yeah, and they're like I said. Well, if it was me on the sub, there'd only be one person left, because now that 20 hours of air would be 80 hours of air, because the other four people would be dead. I'm kidding. I am kidding saying that. So please don't. Oh no. I just you have to realize, when you take chances like that, that's on you. That is 100% on you. I've seen skydivers. I just saw a skydive the other day. It was off of a bridge, and the guy looked like he was a swimmer. Is what like he was getting ready to do this major dive, and I'm like, man, he is way up there. Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, Angela, allegedly. And he did this like crazy somersaults and stuff like that, and then pulled the chute, and then like the chute deployed, and 2 seconds later he hit the water, and I was like, you're taking a chance doing that. I've seen some other die or jumping into ravines of high powered rushing water by kids. You're taking a chance. You do that type of stuff. That's on you, and the so here's my question: what's the fascination? I was actually talking with Rob about this, and Rob was like, "I'm real good with the pictures that they took from the submersible. I'm real good looking at those, and I'm the same way. I'm not risking my life going down and looking at a ship that sank over 100 years ago. Um, you know, no thanks. No thanks. So, but it's just it's craziness. It's absolutely craziness. Now, do I feel sorry for the fact that they may lose their lives? Of course, I wouldn't wish bad on anybody, but that's the chance that they took, and they knew what they were getting into. It was right in a contract, and that's their own problem. You know what I mean? Someone just fell off the sky bridge at the Grand Canyon the other day. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness going like that. But yeah, it's just and there's so many memes out there about that. I mean, there's some pretty funny memes about that. People have been putting them in our group text, which is like, I'm like, oh my god, yeah. So, but it's too bad. I like I said, I wouldn't wish bad on anybody, but they knew what they were getting into, and that is their own things. I'm not going to feed into that because the reality is those people they're all dead. They may still be breathing right now, but they're all dead. It's going to be a recovery mission. It's not going to be a rescue mission. So, and it's too bad. It just is. It really, really is. So, that's how that goes. But so I'm not going to waste a lot of energy on that because they I just saw they were like this big press conference and they had all these people and you're again let's look at what we're dealing with. Okay, if you or me or some average Joe Blow citizen was on that submarine, you think that they would make such a huge effort to try to rescue us, right? But when it's the power elite, the billionaires, the multimillionaires, the people that can piss away $240,000 on something like that, right? When it's those type of people, that's a different. There's the rules for us, and there's the rules for them. You want to talk? Let's talk about something. Let's talk about Hunter Biden for a second. Let's talk about him for a moment. The slap on the wrist that he just got, right, from the Department of Justice. But if you or I had done what Hunter Biden had done, you think they'd throw us under the jail, right? And he won't do one day in jail. Okay, yeah, let's not blame represent. Uh, but yeah, right, exactly. But you know, under the jail, there's a different level of things. Yeah, he got a sweetheart. Of course he did. Look who his father is, and you have to understand. I mean, if he's implicated in what obviously was going on, right? Uh, all kinds of money coming in from foreign entities, and there's a thing that they call it, and I can't think of what it's called. But he didn't report as one of those people, right? So there's another one. Yeah, the gun charge alone would have gotten us jail time. Exactly, exactly. So it's just Wesley Snipes got 6 years. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's yeah. Yeah, what about Hillary's 33,000 missing emails? Again, there's the rules for everybody else, and then there's the rules for us. And that's just or I mean, the rules for them, and then there's the rules for us. The power elite that, like I said, and if they do go to jail, okay, if they do go to jail, they don't go to, okay, so somebody's, oh, well, Martha Stewart went to prison. Okay, well, where did Martha Stewart go to prison? Did she go into a hardcore, tough as nails prison? Or did she go to cupcake camp, right? Where your white collar criminals go? Did she go there, you think? Because she wasn't a violent offender, right? Right? Listen, I mean, come on. I mean, Martha Stewart got time because she put raisins in her potato salad. Oh my God, that's funny. That is kind of funny. Yeah, she went to cupcake jail, of course. I mean, so so okay. Here's another one. Let's give this one here, right? How about the couple in California, right? The famous couple in California that there was the bribery stuff with the college for their daughters to be able to go to whatever college that they were going to. What about that, right? What about that one? Oh, and I love this when they say this. Okay, she got a year in prison, right? Well, let me explain something to you folks, okay? Anybody that hasn't done time or hadn't been arrested or anything like that, if you get a year or less in jail, yeah, Felicity Hoffman, yes. If you get a year or less in jail, you do that in a county jail. You're not going to hardcore prison. You don't go to hardcore prison if you're doing less than a year. In Rochester, New York, I'll give you an example. I took care of a guy. They had him housed. You had MCC. Monroe Community College was here. Right next door to MCC was the jail that they housed the prisoners that were doing less than a year. Okay, that's where they were at. So they were locked up. They were on their cell blocks, but all those guys that were over there were doing less than a year. All right, and so that's where they were housed because this guy that I was taking care of, he had been injured in his running from the police. His brother was killed. He had like lost part of a leg, so he was in a completely separate area by himself. He had to have nursing care, and I was working for an agency at the time, and so I was one of the ones that went in and took care of him. And of course, then he had given the female nurses a hard time, and they're like, oh, this guy's hard, and blah. And I'm going to tell you what, this is the way I am. Okay, if you're respectful to me, I'm going to be respectful for you. If you're a jerk, I can be the biggest a-hole in the whole world. Trust me on that one. You don't want to play that game. And he was always respectful to me, this inmate, and I was respectful to him. I was there to do a job. I was there to take care of him, and that's what I did. But if they're doing now, he was there. Only reason he was over there was because he was injured. He was looking at serious time. He was going up to the big boys camp, and he was going to be there for a long time. But yeah, he's just he's like, so people like that, and they're doing it, and and if they're in a county jail, they're segregated. You know why they're segregated? Because they're a target, because they are the pampered ones. So you know Dawn Hill said, yeah, as a female I turned down prison and jail nursing. Nope. Yeah, I did that one. I actually had gotten hired at one point to work downtown, to the main jail downtown. And after really thinking about it, I turned that job down. I decided not to do it. I didn't want to deal with what you deal with. You're dealing with the scum of the scum, honestly. You're dealing with a lot of drug seekers. Because a lot of the people that are incarcerated in downtown, and this is Rochester, right? A lot of it is theft because they're chasing their high. Okay. You're dealing with people that are waiting sentences, rapists, murderers, every scumbag that you can possibly think of. And guess what, folks? Most of those people are not innocent. Now, do I think that there are people that are in jail that are innocent? Of course I do. Of course I do. But not every one of them is. So what do we got? 389 in the chat. We're at 201 on the thumbs up, guys. So again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I work at a prison long hours. Oh, I'm sure you do, Ryan. If you're in corrections, it's a tough job, and I don't know how you guys do it. I'll be honest with you, I don't. And good for you that you can. But anyway, if you haven't shot that thumbs up, please do so again, and I appreciate that. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So I had a conversation with Dawn Hill on here, and I were talking today. Okay, and this is one of the conversations that we got into. We were talking about. She's a nurse. I'm a nurse. We've both done hospice. My son-in-law works corrections 15 years. Yeah, it's tough. Hey, Rubicon, thank you for becoming a beginner prepper. Appreciate the support. So thank you for doing that. So we were having a conversation. We've both worked hospice. We both found hospice to be very rewarding. I've only done hospice with senior citizens, people that were terminal that, they were not coming back. Okay. And we talked about the nurses that do pediatric cancer kids. And I'm going to tell you right now, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. It would tear me apart because to me, in my mindset, if somebody's old and they've had their run and they're dying, that's acceptable and that's okay. But when it is an 8, 9, 10-year-old kid fighting for their life, for trying to stay alive, I can't do it. And so my hat goes off to any nurse that can work on those units, working with kids. And see, here's what a lot of you really don't understand. most nurses, and I'm not saying all, but I'm going to say most nurses are compassionate people. We care. We want to help people. We want to, be there. When you're dealing with little kids, now I've worked with children. Okay, I've worked with. I had a one baby that I took care of. She was 5 months old, and had a heart issue. Now she wasn't expected to die, but she needed nursing care around the clock. And she did make it, and she ended up going on and graduating from high school and college and the whole 9 yards. So she did well. But if I know, a lot of times if it was a terminal case, you become attached. You can't help but become attached. You can't help it. It's just part of human nature. And when you lose them, it hurts. I go back when and if you go back, you'd see the video that I did when Richie passed away. And Richie, by the time he passed away, he was 30 years old. I think he was 30, 32 when he died. But I started taking care of Richie when Richie was, 10 years old. And, he was a long term care patient. And, you knew, being a nurse, somebody on a ventilator, usually pneumonia gets them in the long run. And, it's a matter of time. And, I watched this kid, and I love this kid. I'm not going to lie. I love Richie with all my heart. And so, and I hadn't taken care of him in years when I found out that he had passed. And, oh God, that one hurt. And he was one of my favorite people. He was just such a loving human being, and he had gotten handed such a crappy deal. He was in an automobile accident at 5. I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again. He was in an automobile accident at 5, paralyzed from the neck down. And, he, he could talk, but he couldn't do anything but move his head. And so, think about that life. And at 5, you don't have a bunch of friends that are going to come out and support you and hang around and stuff like that. So his friends were his nurses. That's who his friends were. And him and I had a lot of fun, and a lot of things that we, I like when I first started taking care of him. I couldn't stand NASCAR. And Richie watched NASCAR every Sunday, and I worked with him every Sunday. So every Sunday I'd have to watch NASCAR. Well, after a while, I kind of got into it, and and then Eddie ended up liking Ryan Newman, and so but it's tough. It's a tough thing, and it takes a special person to be a nurse, hospice nurse, does peds nurse, paramedic, firefighter. Yeah, I mean, you have to be a person that is compassionate about those type of things. So, and that's just that's part of it, and it's a tough thing. I mean, and I like I said, I've taken care of many people through the years, and I feel very lucky to have met different people, and had conversations, and you have time. They have nothing but time, and a lot of them can tell you just awesome stories. I think back to the one gentleman that I took care of, was dying of prostate cancer. And, he was bedbound. He wasn't going anywhere. So we had all day long to sit there and talk. And he had been in World War II. Well, he was a black gentleman. And the reason I state that is because of the story that I'm going to tell. Because, no, I hate that when they're this, they're that, the other thing. Well, during World War II, the blacks did not fight with the white units, okay? The blacks were cooks. They were truck drivers, those type of things. That's what they did during World War II, okay? If you don't believe me, look it up. You'll see there was no integrated military at that point. That's just the way it was, okay? Well, he was a truck driver, and he was telling me stories about driving through the Swiss Alps, okay? Driving through the Swiss Alps, 40 miles an hour, bumper to bumper, with their lights off at night, okay? And he said, you'd stop, and down the hill you would hear them, you know, speaking German down the hill, and maybe up the hill you heard them speaking English, because the American troops were up there and the German troops were down there. And the reason that they had to have their lights off, because if the German planes saw lights, they would attack the convoy. So that's not something you get you know, a history book. Getting that firsthand knowledge. Oh, Mac, mommy's late. Busy watching the Red Sox, Mac Mommy? I hope you're doing well, even if you are a Red Sox fan. I won't hold it against you. Well, I will a little bit. So, no, we'll definitely have some fun going back and forth. I'm going to tell you right now. Just if you're a true fan, see, this is what I love. I had neighbors when I lived in Greece, New York. Okay, and I'll give you an example. I love the bus chops. I love sports. Period. Okay, I have respect for good players. Okay, Dustin Pedroia was somebody that gave 110% all the time. Okay, um, Big Poppy. You can't say anything bad about the guy. He was a fantastic baseball player, an ambassador of the game, great player. Killed us, killed the Yankees. But you have to respect that. You know what I mean? You have to respect that. So to me, I'm a fan of the game. So anyway, I had these neighbors that lived next door to me, and they'd always have like Red Sox hats on and stuff like that. And so I would ask them, I go, and I always ask this question: if I see somebody with a Yankee hat on or whatever, I go, "Are you a real fan, or you just wear the hat?" And and a lot of times they're very honest. But so I would ask people, and I asked these neighbors that, and they're like, "Well, we really don't follow it, but our whole family, they're Red Sox fans, so we're Red Sox fans." So I couldn't even bust chops with them. So that's part of the thing, is being able to bust chops, and to me, that's the part of the fun of it. It really truly is, and so yeah, I just I love the bus chops, but like my buddy Steve is a huge Dodgers fan, and him and I go back and forth all the time, and that's okay. uh, I respect good players. I love the game, and so I'm a fan. There was a near miss with an X1 solar CME. We got lucky again for now. Yeah, eventually we're gonna get hit with one of those too, and that'll take out a whole bunch of stuff. That'll take out a whole bunch of stuff. One of the problems, I'm going to go back to nursing real quick. One of the problems with nursing, okay? Steve is doing very well. Back to work, feeling a lot better. His hand looks great, by the way, and so he's doing much better. So that's a good thing. But anyway, and the Red Sox are still in last place, Max. So let's not get too high and mighty about that. Let's not get too excited. Okay, they swept the Yankees. Did he buy a helmet? I want to get him, Larry. You know what I want to get him? I want to get him like a purple helmet with like the purple glitter on there, like maybe some like the tassels or something on there, just to bust his chops. But he wouldn't wear them, so. Speaking of busting chops, 37 minutes into the live stream, only about two on topic. Well, Brad, I mean, does that surprise you, Brad? I mean, there's times, I'll be honest, there's times I get on topic and I talk about the topic the whole time. But those are like unicorns, Brad. Those are like unicorns, far and few between. But, no, but that's okay. You can bust chops on it. That's perfect. I have no problem with that. Um, but anyway, well, I get off topic because people ask me questions, and I want to try to get them a little pony helmet. Oh my God, that's funny. It'd probably help them, and training wheels exactly. Uh, yeah, I told him. I said, "You're like too old to be continuing to crash this bicycle." So, but anyway. But anyway, that's yeah. Steve's a good guy. I'm a huge Vikings fan. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. You got to like your team. If you don't like and support your team, then what kind of fan are you? Even when they suck, and that's a way I have always been. So off topic is fun. Yeah, we get on different talk. We talk different things, and that's perfectly fine. Uh, you know. But anyway, you know, situation. Let's go back a little bit. We'll go back on topic for a few minutes. How about that? We need to be very, very careful what we're doing, what kind of armaments we're giving Ukraine. If they use it in a way that pisses Russia off, they're going to blame us, which they should. Okay, just so you know, they should, because we are arming them. The UK is arming them. Canada is arming them. Germany is arming them. Okay, so we got to be real careful with what we're doing, and you have to, you got to be smart. You got to be smart, and we're not being smart. And I don't, you know, it's it's not a good situation. It is not a good situation, and the situation over there with, I just read this, and I said, somebody, a Chinese representative, had said to Blinken, I think it was, that he said to him, "We are willing to die to the last Chinese person to get Taiwan back. Americans are not willing to do that." And they're right. We're not. Okay? We're not. But as long as we are backing them, and see, here's what I find funny, because how many, so it's already happened at least twice that I know of, at least twice that I know of, that Biden has stated, right? Had stated, we are going to support Taiwan, right? Said it twice already. And then the handlers came out and they backpedaled on that, and oh, no, no, that's not what he meant. Well, when you say that we have Taiwan's back, that generally means we have Taiwan's back. So it's kind of an unwritten thing, Yeah, and Blinken said no. He said, we don't, but we do. We do. We have a vested interest in Taiwan for several reasons. For several reasons, it's another thing to buffer against Chinese expansion, right? Where are most of the microconductors built in the world? Most of them. What is it? 70%, I believe, the chips. 70% of them are built in Taiwan, and I could be off on that number. So if I'm wrong, please, don't crucify me, but I do believe it's like 70% of them are built there. You know what I mean? That's where they're at. And you know so we have an absolute vested interest to making sure, and what does it do, right? It makes us more of a thorn in China's side. At some point, okay, at some point, China's going to say that they feel like they're big enough and that they're strong enough that they're going to make the move. And when they do, we will react, or we should react, I should say. I don't know if we will or not, but we should react. And we'll see where that leads. I am honestly, and I've said before, I honestly believe, okay, so if you look at, there was somebody, I just watched this really, really interesting thing. And it's 80-year cycles. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. And we go through 4 stages in these cycles every time, okay? Uh, and right now, we are in that 4th cycle. It's 20-year cycles within the 80-year cycles. So we're in that 4th cycle right now, and that cycle ends in 28. And when that cycle ends, most likely we will have been in another major, like World War, something to that effect. It goes in these 80-year cycles, and then you'll have a period again of prosperity, and then the 4th turning. Exactly, yes. And if you've watched any of that, I found it really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. And to me, it is. May I have gathered some medical supplies next month? I can send them. You'll definitely like it. Cool, John. I appreciate that. I will look forward to getting them, and thank you. But anyway, these cycles go on, and it's been like you had the Civil War. You had. I'm trying to think, because they showed it every time how that it worked out, and it was amazing how it worked out that way, and the stuff that happened. And we are in that 4th cycle of the 80-year cycle right now. So it's 20-year increments. And we are in that 4th one. And that generally ends up with a major, major war. And once we come out of that, what was the name of it? I don't remember exactly, Dawn, what the name of it was. But if you look it up, it's like the 8, just you type in 80-year cycle. If you type in 80-year cycle, that information will come up. So look up, do it that way. If you guys want to look at that online, look up 80-year cycle. And like I said, it's 4 increments of 20 years in that 80-year cycle. So, but yeah. So anyway, it was amazing reading that and going and I personally believe it is a matter of time. We are on a clock. All right, that's what I believe. We're on a clock. The clock is counting down, and then the other shoe is going to drop at some point. I can't say exactly what that dropping of the shoe is going to be. I have my thoughts. I've talked about my thoughts. What I believe was going to be, I believe it's going to be a grid down situation because that is the most likely way you destroy the United States of America. Talked about that. Believe that to be true. Somebody had sent me. I think it was JJ that had sent. We'll do egg count in just a second, JJ. Thank you. JJ had said to me that Russia has talked about targeting Yellowstone with a nuclear weapon, and I replied to him, "Well, that's what I would do, right? That's what I would do if I was an enemy." But the thing is, if you're going to do that, you're going to go that route. Okay. Here's the other thing with that: you better be ready for destruction in your own country, because a Yellowstone event, if you went with a nuclear and released all that crap in there, it's not just, it's going to decimate the United States of America, but it will also decimate the world and put us into a volcanic winter. They could last up to 10 years. And I'll tell you what, I don't care how much you've prepped or how much you're prepared for. I don't think anybody's ready to spend 10 years with no sunshine and trying to be, underground and trying to survive like that. None of us are ready for that. So, but that's my thought on that. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do egg count first, and then we'll go back to chatting some more. But so how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck starting right now. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses. But again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that ahead of time. Also, again, it really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithm, so the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So thank you for doing that as well. And we'll go from there. So give you just a couple more minutes here, and then I will announce the winner. All right, guys, if you had the same exact guess as Pennsyltucky Granny, and I think Pennsyltucky Granny has won one time before. She had 5 eggs, and no for Miss Thickneck. Miss Thickneck is being lazy, and she's not being a team player. So, she is not not doing her job. But so congratulations to Pennsyltucky Granny. You've won absolutely nothing. So, but yeah, it's like 4 or 5 days in a row now where Thickneck has not laid at all. And Heather said to me, she goes, "Well, she might be done." I said, "You don't know. She could be. She is an older bird. She is one of the birds one of the first ones that I had, and she was full grown when I got her." So, but so congratulations to Pennsyltucky Granny. Yeah, I knew she won before. Look at that. So is that 2 wins for you, Pennsyltucky Granny? I think that's 2 wins for you. I have not incubated any eggs now. What I'm going to probably do, Deb, is I'm going to look for getting. There's different breeds that have a tendency to be more broody, and so I may get some of them. And I'm obviously going to have a rooster, down here, and so I want to get some hens that are going to be broody and make their own babies. So that would be a good thing. But if they were not broody. And things. So I'll be honest with you. Once I have chickens, so here's my thought process with that. I got the 2 incubators, right? Each incubator will hold 24 eggs. which I didn't realize it was going to be that much. But each incubator will hold 24 eggs, and so SHTF happened, and we have chickens down here. The first 48 eggs that I get would go right into an incubator and get that going. So that's the way I would do it. And if the grid goes down, Ed, we will be living like our great grandparents. Absolutely, Sean. We will be back into the 1800s in the blink of an eye, and we have a society that is not prepared for that at all. They're not prepared for that at all. Oh, there was another question that I saw. People asked me how long I was going to continue to feed the bees the sugar water, and that was a question that I asked right from the very beginning. And what I was told was this: I was told that this year is a building year. So obviously, if you guys have watched, we started out with one box. We started out with one super, right? Once they started filling out that super, I bought the second super and put that on. And they started filling that out. Once they got to a point where that second super was almost completely full, then we just put the third box on. And that just went on a couple of days ago. If you guys watched the video today, I did the video today talking about looking to check, are they into the third box, and are they starting to build cone into the third box. This year is a building year, so we're encouraging them, helping to make sure they have more than enough food, and that's what the sugar water is for the bees, is to so they don't have to worry about trying to go out and collect everything that they need. And they're still doing it, don't get me wrong, they still go out, they're still collecting pollen and everything else as well, but you're giving them the boost on this first year. So we get into late fall, I will stop giving them sugar water at that point in time, because by then they should be in good shape for winter. They'll have plenty of honey in the hive to get them through the winter, and we from that perspective then. What I'll probably do for wintertime, I may put up some kind of a block so that they're not catching the direct wind of winter. So that's going to help them, so that they can stay in better shape. And so how would I do that, right? They're already behind the shipping containers. There's the shipping container. Their hive is here. Off to this one side, I would put some kind of fencing, a solid type of fencing up on that one side to help so the wind doesn't blow directly onto them. And that's going to help them, get through that winter. So right now, the game plan is to get them, squared away, giving them enough of a boost to get through this first year of building and letting things go. So, oh wow, okay, John, thank you for sharing that. That's, yeah, slow and steady is right. So here's the other thing. I want people to realize something, okay? And so I try. I mean, and I have days. I'm not gonna lie. I have days like everybody else. You know, I try to do something every day, because if you do something or you do nothing, if you do nothing, nothing gets better, nothing gets accomplished. But if you work a little bit, even if it's 20 minutes, half an hour, a day. I'm glad to see you got the colostomy bag too removed, John, as well. That's a good thing. Uh, but if you do a little something every day, it's amazing what happens over time. You know what I mean? It really is amazing how that works. And I think people don't realize that. People just don't realize that. Steady. It's steady, steady, steady. You know, I like everybody else, even though I'm a hardcore prepper and I've been prepping for a very long time, I get distracted like anybody else gets distracted. And that's why I try to always encourage you to keep going, not to give up, not to become despondent, because, like I said, again, it's easy. I mean, people get into prepping, right? And all of a sudden you're a brand new prepper and you go, holy crap, I got to do all these things. And so you become obsessed, and you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing it. You're getting all these things and you're getting pulled in 300 different directions. Well, what ends up happening is at some point, you hit that wall and you're like, holy crap, I'm burnt out. And that's what happens. You absolutely get burnt out. No doubt about it. If you're looking at big picture of stuff, right? Um, Best thing is to make a list and mark stuff off. Yeah, and that really does make a big difference. Have your goals. What like if you want to do it in January, not a New Year's resolution, right? What are my goals for this year? What do I want to get accomplished this year, right? So, you basically have your list of what you want to get accomplished. And then you start, oh, what's on my shirt? This is, I will show you. This is the Nighthawks. It is a band out of Washington, D.C. area. They've been playing together forever and a day. My buddy Eric turned me on to them. We actually went and watched them play a show. Amazing, amazing band. They were fantastic. So if you get the opportunity, and I actually saw them play in New York. So they do travel around. You know, older gentlemen. They've been around a long, long time, and they're fantastic. So if you get that opportunity to go see the Nighthawks, that's the name of the band. Definitely check them out. They're really, really cool. So, but anyway, but going back to what I was saying here, you know, setting those goals and then set about, like I said, to making them happen. One of my goals for this year, all right, just one was to start getting fruit trees in here. Okay, start getting fruit trees in here, and we have done that. When we got the first 10 fruit trees in, all right, and the first 8 blueberry bushes in this year, I was like, oh my, you have. I can't even begin to explain the euphoria that I felt having them in here because I was like, you know what? Okay, now we have over time. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight, which I'm very much a realist. I've watched my fruit trees in New York, and I saw how long that took. But with having a little bit more of a mature tree, it is going to be, it's going to be better. So getting those trees in is a huge step to being independent. Okay. And now we have 23 fruit trees in. Now we won't be adding any fruit trees this month. Coming up for July, we won't be adding any in August, but we will be adding more in September. All right. It's just because July and August are traditionally very, very hot months. Unless you want to be watering every single day, which I don't want to be watering every single day. So, I want more trees. I just got one peach tree for now. But again, Ryan, you have to look at the picture. One or zero, right? What is better? That's the way I look at things. You have to look at it realistically. Something is better than nothing. And so, with having 23 trees planted now here at the homestead, it makes me, I'll be honest with you, it makes me feel. Oh, I have plenty of maple trees down here, 80K man. I have plenty of maple trees, hard and soft maple. So, yeah, I have plenty of those. But it makes me feel rich. And if that's silly, people can think that that's silly. But it makes me feel so awesome that we have here now, when the time comes, that we have something that's going to be back year after year after year. We're going to be able to harvest. We're going to be able to continue to grow and stuff like that. And it's just making those steps and looking at your goals. What am I doing and why am I doing it? Let's talk about that. What am I doing and why am I doing it? Why are you doing different tasks that you're doing, right? Why are you doing it? Why are we building a pavilion? Let's go with the pavilion. Why are we building a pavilion? So, the reason that we're building a pavilion is because we wanted to have a place that we can get out of the weather, have a place where we can go in and cook and not be sitting around a campfire trying to, cook on a campfire in the middle of winter, and stuff like that. And so, having the pavilion is a central meeting place for now as well. It's a community center situation. It is. Eventually, we will have a true community center in place. That's going to happen down the road. But, it's a start. And somebody had said, it's a 12 by 24 pavilion. with 3 feet overhangs on each side. So actually, you have a little bit more space that you can utilize than the 12 feet. Okay, so there's 3 extra feet on each side as an overhang. So that's why we did it like that. But anyway, it's the whole thing. The whole process is, you know, it's a we'll have that there for now. Eventually, we will have a community center as well. So it's just it's a process of making things better as we continue to get together. The next winter will be coming, and so we will have the pavilion in place. We'll have the walls up before the snow flies. We'll have the wood stove set up in there, and we'll have all those things squared away, and that's a cool thing. You know what I mean? And that just puts us in a better position to be successful in an SHTF event. So when we're looking at what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing, you know, Full of Hope mortgage paid off today. Oh, congratulations, Full of Hope. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the donation, and thank you for sharing that awesome news. That's great. Congratulations on that. That's a huge accomplishment. Huge accomplishment. Uh, but it's just you know those little goals, and then you have no idea the and I wish you guys could have been here so you could have seen how we came together the weekend that we got that roof on the pavilion. All right, because we had everybody that was here that weekend was busting their butts, working hard, getting that done, and we pushed. We had a day and a half. Okay, we had a day and a half, and we ended up having great weather for that, and we got it done, and it was such a great feeling to have that part of that done at that point. It was amazing, and that's what it's about. It's that coming together and you know working on getting things squared away, and just like I said, that team effort, and that's what I love the best. Because when I talked about putting a group together down here, never worked, never happened, people won't do it, blah 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 blah. Well, guess what? Here we are, more than a year later, doing it, thriving, doing it. It's coming together, and being able to have something that we have bled over, sweat over, froze over, all those things. Ronnie being down there digging those holes in the mud, in the muck, when the weather was, wet and sloppy and it was raining. It's such a great thing, and it's such a team effort that to me it's amazing. It's amazing. So, and it'll continue to come together, and it'll continue to get better. And it's just a matter of, it's a matter of us just continuing to work as a team, and you watch and see what we get accomplished here, and it's going to show you that it is a doable situation, that people can do this, and that's what it's about for me. And that's not being a braggart. That's not being, oh, I'm patting myself on the back, because that's not what it's about. It's about being in that situation. I never killed the volume on my phone, apparently. It's about working together and making things, being ready for when that time comes. Because again, when I said I don't know how much time we got, I don't. So when are you adding more solar? That'll be coming in time, Larry. That'll be coming in time. So, all right. So let's do this. Let's do shout outs. We'll start out with Icky Can up in Canada. Real good guy. Would ask you to support him. You have Angry Prepper. That's Jason down in New York City. Another really, really good guy. You have Alaska Prepper. That is Rudy. There is also Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel, and myself, Reliance. Watching him build is amazing up in Canada, doing a fantastic job. You have Demcad. There is Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man up in the Adirondacks doing his thing up there. You have Bizarrizajizza, who has the Carrington Chronicles. Really interesting story. You should definitely check that out. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wranglestar. That's Cody, another really good channel. A lot of good information with his channel as well. Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily over in Europe. You have Kyle's Cabin. Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up in Minnesota. A nice young couple up there. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team, two different channels. Really good information with them. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. Let's see. We have Green Greg's. A lot of great gardening information coming from Green Greg's. Definitely check him out as well. You have Southern Prepper One with his Boots on the Ground series. He's been prepping a long time as well, and good channel. A lot of good information with his channel, not just about the boots on the ground stuff, but with his prepping thoughts and why he's prepping and how he's prepping. Very interesting. You have Gray Man Prepping. There's St. Bernard Acres with Joe. You have Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around it a long, long time. To check them out as well. You have the Nomadic Movement. They are down in Panama. Nice young couple down there doing their thing. You have the Green Dream Project, another nice couple out in Arizona, living in the desert, showing you how to survive in the desert and with water collection and everything else. Really, really interesting to watch them. There is Camping with Steve. That's Steve Wallace. He does stealth camping. You have Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around for a very, very long time. Somebody else that we should be supporting. She's dealt with her definite amount of adversity. Boss of the Swamp. He's been around a long time too. Great builder. Really good at building as well. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond is a very, very smart individual. He will give you all the information about the Grand Solar Minimum and everything going on with that. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Another good channel there. You have City Prepper. There is Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer. He's giving you all the stuff with the solar flares and everything that's going on with space. So in the sun, and it's really, really interesting, his channel. There is Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma, another good guy. You have Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley gives you all the updates with Yellowstone and everything that's going on there, the earthquakes and everything like that. And her questioning what the USGA there is doing as far as their monitoring. It's really interesting with the stuff that she has. We have Adapt 2030. There is Malachi's Corner. You have Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall is a great guy, really gives back to the community in a huge way, very passionate about the weather as well. There is Russell Brand. I love Russell Brand. He gives you the information, and he lets you decide if you want to do whatever you want with it. He just gives the information and lets you make your own decisions. I like that. I respect that. He doesn't tell you what to think or he has an agenda of you need to do this or you need to do that. He just lets you do it for yourself. Deep South Homestead, another good channel. They've been around for a while. A lot of good stuff on their channel. You have The Outsider. He's up in Maine. Nice guy up there doing his thing as well. Building in the middle of the woods, which has been amazing to watch over the time and everything else. Let's see, you have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's. I think you should all be watching Townsend's because he's showing you how life was like in the 1800s. We have an EMP or we have a grid down situation. That's where we're going to be back to in an instant. So it's a fun channel to watch, a lot of good information there. So definitely check that out. You have The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness. He is down in Tennessee. Really good guy. I've been to one of his events. Really nice to meet him. And he is a giant. He's 6'8". East Tennessee Preparedness. The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. Another channel coming out of Tennessee. A lot of good channels out there. I know you guys have put other ones in the chat, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Again, I do believe that we need to be supporting each other. And so there's only so many people I can shout out. So I try to keep a list of who I want to, do shout outs for. But there's a lot of great channels, a lot of good information. I think looking at from the perspective of you know, different points of view. I think that that's important. Yes, and 80K Man just put up Happy Summer Solstice, everybody. So today is the longest day of the year, and then we start to get shorter again. And so, not happy about that part, but summer solstice. So, congratulations to everybody. You know, if you follow that, this is the longest day of the year, and now they start getting shorter. So that means it's time to get busy, right? It's always time to get busy, but I think that it's also the first day of summer. Yes, officially. Yep. So, but yeah, no, we're still in the midst of a bunch of rain. I mean, look, actually, I'll tell you guys, we've had rain so far for the last 3 days in a row, and let's see. So right now, let's see, go to the 10 day. All right, so rain tomorrow, rain Friday, rain Saturday. Sunday looks nice. Rain Monday, rain Tuesday, and then we got a couple of good days after that, and then again rain on the 30th. So we got a lot of rain in the forecast. Um, a lot of it is scattered thunderstorms. So like tomorrow and Friday, there was looking like a steady rain on both of those days. It was pretty steady today, here off and on, and so that's again that's part of what we're dealing with. So, but yeah, I know somebody was telling me that it was really hot up in some of the northern states. I mean, I know in New York, I talked to Heather, and she was saying it was quite warm up there today as well. And I mean, I don't think we got over 61 degrees here today. I don't think it got any hotter than that. It was definitely, a cooler day. I mean, yesterday was in the 60s as well, and we got that rain. So, but I will tell you, we needed the rain, so I'm not complaining about that at all. So it's just part of what you have to deal with, and it's part of life. So no rain in Nebraska all month. Yeah, that's not good. It was in the upper 80s in the UP of Michigan. Okay, so but yeah, I mean, someplace like I said, where we're at here, my buddy Reese down in South Carolina, they had a better day today, but they've been dealing with rain for like a week. So, but yeah, it's just it's one of those things. I mean, it's part of what happens, and it really we have not had. I mean, we've had a couple days in the 80s down here this year so far, but nothing major. No major like where you're going, oh my god, it's so ridiculously hot, I can't stand it type of thing. So, but but yeah, it's part of like I said, it's part of what we got to deal with. What are we? 265 still in the chat. We're at 338. Let's see. We're running out of time here, but just for fun, let's see if we can hit 400. That's 62 more thumbs up, and we've got like less than 10 minutes to go. So let's see if we just for a number to shoot for. So let's see if how close to 400 thumbs up we can get. So if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, folks, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms. The more interaction that we have, it's better for the channel. So comments, thumbs up, thumbs down, that's fine. It really does make a difference. Also, again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So now we're at 349. So 51 more thumbs up. We need 51 more, guys, to hit that 400 mark. So let's see if we can do it just for the fun of it. So why don't we go ahead and do this right now? We are Legion. We are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Colton, West Virginia with Ryan. Montreal, Quebec, Canada with Daniel. Sean in Nebraska. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. Central New York with Village Homestead. Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, Connecticut. Central Iowa with Robert. Morning Light in West Virginia. Dawn in the UP of Michigan. Thief River Falls, Minnesota with Deborah. Tucson, Arizona. Central Pennsylvania. We have Blue Ridge Mountains. BC, Canada with Janet. Omaha, Nebraska. We have Eastern Oregon with Susan. Franklin County, Ohio. Ontario, Canada. I just saw California, the Mojave Desert in Southern California with Dave. The beautiful Pennsylvania wilds with Pennsyltucky Granny. Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. White Mountain, Arizona with Emil. Southern Indiana with Teresa. Central Florida with Prepper Mama. Pike County, Kentucky. Marquette, Michigan with Dina. Northwest Pennsylvania with Mountain Man. Tennessee with Juby. Western Kentucky with Greg. Northwest Pennsylvania with Shawshanks. I don't know what the rest of that. Western Pennsylvania with Rat Dog. North Arkansas and the Ozarks with Jordan. West Central Ohio with Dale. Brian in Bath in the UK. Good to have you here, Brian. Central Ohio with Proddy Bear. Hillsboro, Oregon with Chewy. East Central Illinois with Lana. Central Pennsylvania with Jenny. Central Kentucky with Farmer Blue. West of Savannah, Georgia with Debbie. Very nice. So again, we are all over the place, folks. We're all over the country, all over the world. We got Phoenix with Janie. Reminds me of a thing that NASCAR thing they put up a long time ago. It's years and years and years ago, and they called Phoenix Pahonix. It's like it was a joke. So we have Stone Mountain, East Tennessee with Robert. We got Patty in Washington. So we're all over the place. We're a huge network of people. We're the ones that are awake. Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel with King Cracker. That's funny. I like that name. I think that's actually very funny. Imagine walking around with a T-shirt saying King Cracker. Fort Worth, Texas with Chance. But I don't know. That's just my twisted sense of humor. I would do it. I would do it. We got the Philippines. Very nice. Glad to have you here. So again, we're the ones that can make a difference now. We can make a difference after an event as well. So I think that is important. We should be networking, connecting, because there's not going to be a whole lot of trust with people after an event. That is for sure. That is for sure. What are we at? 368. So we still need 32 more thumbs up. Can we do it? Can we hit 400 before we jump off of here? So again, let's keep them up there. We're down to 250 people in the chat, but we only need 32 more thumbs up. So let's see if we can hit that number. Just for fun. Why not? Now, let's see how close we can get to 400. I probably asked too late. That's probably the problem. I think we're at 371 now, so we need 29 more. But yeah, tonight's show brought to you by Cheez-Its, right? I've been working on that. Top box pretty good. Me and Hella, we work on it together. So, but 377 now, so we need 23 more. 23 more thumbs up. 379. So now 21. 21 more. Can we do it? So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. It means a lot to me. Appreciate the support. So ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, thank you very much for what you do. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, and I appreciate your effort. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here, for being supporting the channel. And like I said, I enjoy these chats. And yeah, do I ever stay on topic? No. No. There'll be times if I'm really into a topic, I'll stay on topic for a lot longer, but we generally go off the rails. It happens. What are we at? 382? We need 18 more, guys. 18 more thumbs up. So, but it's more fun that I think so too. I mean, staying on topic and being so rigid all the time, I don't think that that's productive. And people have questions, and I always want to try to answer questions if I can. And so I think that that's important as well. It's just define topic, whatever we're talking about, Deborah, right? That's the topic, whatever we're talking about. So we need 13 more. We're down to 13 away, guys, from them thumbs up. Hitting 400. So let's do that. Come on, we're so close. 13 more thumbs up. to hit 400. So anyway, what was I going to say? Brain went blank. 13 more thumbs up though. Let's see if we can hit 400 here before we jump off. Uh, I want you guys to remember we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, they use religion, they use political affiliation, they use all that nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. 7 more. We need 7 more now. We're so close. We got to hit that 400. So, we have to stop letting them manipulate us and play games. We need to come together, and that's important. We need to come together. So, if we ever come together, there would be no stopping us. Absolutely no stopping us. We're at 394 now. We need 6 more. 6 more thumbs up, guys. Can we get it? 4 more now. We're down to 4 away. Come on. We're almost there. Also, remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important that we tell the people, if you want to see Ed with beads and firecrackers in his beard, yeah, right. So anyway, 400. Look at that. Look at that. 401. Awesome. I wasn't sure if we could hit it. I mean, it was a tall ask to get like 75 more thumbs up, in like 10 minutes. But you guys killed it. So, but yeah, tell the people that you care about every day how you feel is really, really important. Also remember, guys, like I said, STD, step thing in day, one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. And that's important. Just, you do that, and you're going to be good to go. So 405 now on the thumbs up. So you guys blew right past it. That's wild. That's pretty cool. So anyway, be safe, everybody. Keep prepping. Don't stop prepping. Don't become despondent. Set those realistic goals, and then make them happen. That's as simple as that. It really, truly is. And the only one stopping you is you. That's it. Nobody else. So, and don't listen to negative people telling you what you cannot accomplish. Because just because they're too lazy to accomplish anything doesn't mean you have to be. So that's important too. But anyway, be safe, and I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepperness 1 out for now.